Well, that'll be you then, I guess. Just making that the point that you're here, live and full of vigour. Well, maybe not so much of that. Anyway, good morning, Rita. How are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, the vigour is maybe not quite there today, given the 2-year-old's propensity at the moment for once an hour wake-ups overnight. Other than that, we're doing peachy.
Good, peachy. Yes, indeed. All right. So today you were going to talk about what is perceived as the missing link, and a lot of people would go, you are only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. But the missing link surely is something else. Is it something, do you think people are definitely can't grasp, or they think it's devoid of their attention? How is the missing link perceived by yourself?
Okay, so the missing link, obviously what we're doing today is we're referring to it in terms of sort of habits, healthy lifestyle. So most people will be able to change habits, do things differently for maybe, even maybe a year, but then continuing it long term, that's where it seems to get unstuck. I can change my habits for short term, or I can do something differently short term, but how do I make it stick going forward? And it's because most people focus on the what and the how and not the why. So the missing link is the why. So, if we take weight loss and fitness just as a sort of basic general, but this can apply to anything, most people have a what. So it could be that they want to lose 20 pounds. That's a what. They want to run a marathon. That's a what. They want to have stronger legs. They want to have a flatter stomach. Most people have an idea of the what that they want. The how, there's a lot of things out there which will show you how to do something. So, in a very broad term, eating right and moving is a how. There are tons of fad diets and various things which short term do have some effect. Long term, not really, but short term, yes. So there's a lot of how. You can go on Google and type in, how do I lose weight? And you'll get millions and millions of responses. So if everyone has a what, and there's all of these research sources for how, then why isn't everyone where they want to be in a pretty swift sort of time frame and maintaining it? Why is it not working? And it's because they haven't got their why. So initially, when someone wants to change habits or lifestyle or adopt something new, there's quite a lot of adrenaline and initial, get up and go and motivation to do it. And the what and the how will keep you going through that phase. It's when the tough days happen, which there are for every single person, including elite athletes. There are tough days, and days that we perceive, although they're not, we perceive as a failure, or we haven't done as well, or whatever it might be. And when we have days like that, we need to have a why to keep us going. So, for instance, it could be that somebody's why is their kids. So maybe their mother died of weight-related heart attack at the age of 45. They don't want that to happen to them because they want to be able to see their kids grow up and get married and have grandkids. That is quite a big why. It could be that their why is their business. So they want to be able to feel confident networking and getting new clients. And it's about identifying a really firm why and holding on to it throughout the bad days.
So the why becomes the driving force then, the reason I want to accomplish this goal because of, and even though you've got that in your head at some point, do you think that the reason and the why and the driving force wanes? Or if it wanes from somebody, what reason is it? Other life things that get in the way, or is it because they find that it's not sustainable?
So if the why wanes, the why wasn't strong enough to begin with. So, for instance, my why, why do I get up and exercise and choose to make choices that I make? My why is my business. So my business allows me to provide for my family, for friends. My business allows me to work anywhere in the world. I go to Portugal in 2 weeks and I can work in Portugal. I don't have to miss anything. I can continue to work somewhere else. That freedom, that is why I want my business to succeed and continue to succeed. That is a strong enough why that every day I will choose to make the healthy choice, because I can't espouse healthy living if yes, I enjoy a pizza, but if I eat it every day or go to McDonald's for breakfast every day, it's not very conducive to the business that I'm running, and my business is my why. That is a strong enough why for me that it keeps me going every day. If your why isn't keeping you going, it's not the true reason why you want to do something.
So could your why be actually, as you just described, counterproductive in a way? If it's not strong enough, it will be counterproductive to the how and what it is you want to achieve. So if that is the case, how would you change that? How would you redirect that why that you say wasn't strong enough to begin with? How would you enhance that?
So at that point, it's genuinely about being honest with yourself. So most people will judge themselves even when there's nobody else around to show judgment or pass opinion. So, a lot of people will say that their why is one thing because it sounds like a good why, but maybe it's not the reality of the situation. And that's where you have to be truthful. So as an example, I had a woman who said that her why was her kids, right? My why is my kids, and I want to be fit and healthy to run around after them, because she felt that this sounded like a good thing to do. We should, as society makes us feel, we should put our kids above everything else, and therefore she felt that her kids should be her why. Actually, her actions spoke differently. Her ability to progress in her career was actually more important to her. Her ability to feel confident enough to get the next very sort of high level step in her career and to get the title and everything that went along with that was more important to her. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but she internally judged herself for it. She internally judged herself that she was essentially valuing her career over her long-term future, as it were, with her kids. Now, this doesn't mean that she doesn't love her kids. This doesn't mean that she doesn't want to do everything and be the best mum that she can for her kids. But she was internally judging her why, so coming up with a false reason. And actually, when we stripped it back and really looked at why did she want to lose weight and look, for want of a better word, banging in a suit, it was because she wanted the next step in her career. So it was about stripping it back, not judging yourself, and just being fully honest for your reasons.
Are we not, though? Are we not all our own worst critic in certain stages? There are the people who are narcissistic and people who have got a very overly inflated opinion of themselves floating around, and I've met many of them, whereby whatever they say or do is correct. Everybody else is wrong. But generally speaking, we are our own worst enemy, in the sense that we put ourselves down or put ourselves in a lower category than perhaps we might. And if we were to be able to raise that bar and feel better, would that not be perpetual in terms that we want to then progress further than that?
Yeah, so most of us will judge ourselves far more harshly than anybody else would. Your why doesn't need to be this righteous, massively profound why. It could be that your why is simply that, you want to feel good in the same dress that you wore on your honeymoon, or you want to feel good in that suit that you wore when you got your first, big career step, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be a huge, profound thing, but it's about essentially asking yourself why more than once. So I always go with the rule of 3. So why? So the what is, let's say I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, so why? I want to lose 50 pounds to be able to run after my kids. Okay, why? I want to lose 50 pounds to be able to run after my kids so that I don't feel like an embarrassment at the school pickup gates when I can't keep up with them. Okay, why? Third why. I want to lose 50 pounds to be able to run after my kids so I don't embarrass them at the school pickup gates and I don't end up like my mum, who was the mum who couldn't keep up on school trips, had to constantly sit down and never got to be involved in her kid's life in the way that she wanted to. If you keep asking yourself why, the depth of emotion behind the why, because I want to lose 50 pounds to run after my kids, doesn't have a lot of emotion. You keep digging down and suddenly whatever the real reason is starts to come out. And that is a huge motivator on days where it's difficult, because like I say to my clients, discipline isn't something that suddenly slim, healthy people have. It isn't, just a switch button that suddenly comes on. Discipline still has to happen for everybody. There will still be days that the healthiest person in the world doesn't want to be the healthiest person in the world. They want to choose differently. And discipline is about what you want most versus what you want now. And if what you want most, your why, is strong enough, it will win out over what you want now every time. If it's not strong enough, you're going to go with what you want now, and that's not necessarily going to be the most conducive choice for health and weight loss.
So instant gratification is okay in small doses, like I'll just eat that pizza today, but tomorrow I'll have a salad or whatever. And the same goes for the whys. Each one that you propose there supports the one above it, and I give yourself different reasons. That's fantastic information. Personally, there's a number of people I know who want to be a lot fitter, lose 50 pounds so they can run away from their children, not run but that's another story entirely, I think. And Rita, it's been amazing as normal, and thank you very much for joining us. We'll speak to you next week, and then after that you'll be in Portugal, won't you?
Yes, the week after that I will be in Portugal having some nice half-term time with my 2 eldest kids.
Okay, so you won't be with us that week unless you're going to talk to us from Portugal, of course.
I can talk to you from Portugal. There's no reason I can't. I'm doing all of my client sessions from Portugal, so it reaches through Europe.
Yeah, why not? Why not? All right, look, thank you very much. Nice to speak to you, and you have a great day, and I hope you managed to catch up on your sleep. Why? Because the little one kept you up half the night, and you need to catch it. I'm not saying you look tired, but I'm just saying it would be nice. It would be nice for you to get some sleep and recoup. Regenerate.
It would. I agree.
Right. Okay, Rita, thank you very much. We'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.